Alright, now we're going to have to take a field trip together to understand what these pieces are. That way you know where I'm going with the process. Okay, so imagine this. You're in a class called Texture Rendering and Lighting, and then eventually you'll be in a class called World Building. And in world building, you'll probably be using this geometry again in a different application. We're going to be using it in Maya and putting it together to become a warehouse. Alright, so let's kind of take a little field trip together and look at what this warehouse really looks like. We'll look at it in game. So fast forward to a class called World Building, and then we'll understand that where we're going with it eventually. You're going to have an assembled mesh within Maya, though, that looks just like a factory. So for those people that like to work ahead, let's say you're done with this class and you want to kind of go ahead in your lessons a little bit, youtube.com/canned mushrooms, that's canned mushrooms is in plural. There's a level design course for the UDK, and in there around chapter 8, 9, and 10 you will see this very same workflow. The UV process is very fast through those videos and not meant for the independent new student to do. So this is a very watered down hand-holding lesson for UVs, and then I do a much faster approach to UVs in those. Oh, looks like I have it open. Okay, cool. So over here is the warehouse. So this is the very same thing that you're building right now. Okay, and you can go on the inside and you can see these rafters, and there's the front of it. There's this big garage door. There's those glass blocks. There's those steps. Pretty cool, right? Then I write scripts to show you how to make things happen like this. So for right now, we have these windows that all look very uniformed, but I teach you how to write scripts that allow you to do an alt, click and drag, and notice when you drag this across, it becomes a total random new piece of based upon where you put it. Okay, so those are things to come, but that's what your warehouse is going to look like assembled in Maya, not the UDK. And when you get to the world building course, that's when we import all this geometry in, build the packages required, write the scripts that are required for the material to chain over to make randomness happen and all that good stuff. But you're going to be able to understand the texture rendering and lighting attributes within Maya so you can survive in that world also. I just want to keep one building that stretches across a couple of the classes so you can see different applications happen to it throughout the workflow. Alright, so that's that. Reason we had to take a field trip is we have to understand which materials are getting to what. So we have these pieces right here, and if you notice, they all have brick on them. This bigger, longer piece has a cement texture. These rafters have a wood texture to them, just like that, and you can see that they're all going the same wood grain. I have a wood grain door. This is kind of a peeled paint, cement. And then the top is a whole different story altogether. That's a corrugated metal, it's called. Alright, so we know what this stuff looks like. Let's also look at it in Maya. In Maya, think of how to launch another one of these windows that doesn't fail. Cool. So File, Open Scene. And I'm just looking for a scene that I have recently opened that allows you to see the textures on those meshes. So keep in mind that this is what your meshes are going to look like by the time you hit Unit 2, where we're going to be doing some textures. Okay, so here we go. Now, if we know which one's got the same kind of material, like this one right here has the same kind of brick over and over again. Actually, this is the same texture. We want to try to be able to do that and use the same procedural texture over and over again. It keeps it very lean for the game engines. So I'm trying to teach texture rendering and lighting correlating to game design, not CG, even though they could be used in the same manner. Alright, these two meshes have the same. This mesh has the same as the wooden beams, and then this has a total different texture that's the same as the window frames. Now, notice the brick. They're all the same height and width, okay, going across all the meshes. These are the same as far as the textures and the resolution is concerned. Same with this and this. Being that they're the same, we have to treat scale very carefully here. These squares represent scale. Notice how this one is changing to this one. This one's bigger, this one's smaller, this one's a different mid-size. These are all different. That means if we added brick texture to these, the bricks would be bigger over here, smaller over here, mid-size over here, and they would never line up correctly. So this is a very important process that I'm going to be taking you through. This is just the field trip video. But other than that, in the next video, we have to learn to scale all these together, correlating to the type of material that might be on these. Okay, so we'll look at that workflow in the next video.